Okay, so first thing that we will do here now is we will go to favorite page and try to have, instead of qubit, we will have block. Why? Because we want to show shimmer and mean that for the duration for which the favorite items are getting loaded, because it's async call. For that time we will show the shimmer, and for the once we have the events list, we will show the events. It is much like events list page, and there we could not do it with qubit. Similarly here also we cannot achieve that with qubit. So first thing would be to refactor this by using favorite block. So let's change the name first of all, and then you should be also changing the name here for the file. Okay, now we will create one event file that would be favorite event, like the same way we created initially, and this file will be part of favorite block dot. Okay, and then we will use freeze annotation here. We will attach, we'll create a class favorite event with the help of with, and then we will write favorite event. Okay, let's import this. Okay, not importing here, sorry. We need not import it here. We will import it in the favorite block file. So here we will add the annotation. Fine, and here we will also specify that this has a part. So first will be favorite event, and similarly we will also have a favorite underscore block dot freezed dot. Okay, so these things will be there, and instead of qubit we will be using block, and instead of list of events we will be using favorite event, and we will have one more state class, favorite state. So let's replicate this and paste it here with a different name. Okay, let's see what all we need to change here. So we need to change state here and state there. Now let's start with the event. So what will be the first event of this block? Load will be the first event that we handle here. Okay, so it has only one job to do, basically to load the events. So let's create a load event here, const factory favorite event dot load, and then you have this load. Obviously this watcher will run as soon as I press save. So before that, let's do this one as well. We will have const factory, and the only state that this will have is initial state, almost like the event list event or event list state. Here we will have two parameters that would be bool is loading. So when the loading is going on, we will have this as true and false, true or false, and then there will be a required list of events. Of course it can be nullable as well, and then we will have events here. Okay, fine, let me just quickly import it and then add initial favorite event. Okay, so this file is also done. Now we can say let's import it. What is the problem here? Does not. Okay, yeah, so we will have to use favorite state here, which turns out to be not there. Freeze. Oh, this import is not required here. It will be required in this file. So we will import event. Basically I think it's already imported. We just have to mention favorite state here. Okay, fine, and then instead of initial state, we will have favorite state dot initial, and we'll say, let's say initial is this, and initially this will be null. Yep, so it can be null, and we will add const here. So this will be our initial state when the block is initialized, and in the on, and then after this we will have to handle this block with the favorite event. Okay, and then comment this folder, this, and generate this file. Okay, keep memory changes on load. Okay, fine. So go to this page, and let's not call this now, it's not required. We will do it in a different way. So but first job is to make it work. Okay, it takes a event. Since events will not be there. Okay, great. So this will be a state now. Okay, so and where is this events coming from? It is coming from mock, which is, you know, which is risky for us. So let's remove this, and let's have state handler here. So state dot when. Okay, and we know that state dot when will help us in doing this stuff. So let's say initial, and then it will have is loading comma events, right? And then we have to return a widget from here. Now we will check whether events is empty. Okay, if it is empty or if it is not empty, see, let's read this code again. We will show center no favorite event. So this should be shown if there are no events. Okay, and this should be shown if events are there. So this will be if it is loading. If it is loading, then show that event shimmer list. Okay, show the event shimmer list. Otherwise show this no favorite events. This when has to actually close somewhere, so it has to close after this. Okay, and what is this? Trailing comma. Fine, great. Does it compile? Okay, great. So now it's readable little bit. If it's loading, then we show this one, and if it is not loading, then we check whether events is empty, then we show this center. Otherwise we show listview dot separated. So this is how it should look like. And what are the errors? It might be related to some formatting only. So the return type, okay, isn't a widget as required by closure. Okay, fine. Okay, we have to import this. Now you see home presentation event list, event shimmer list. So what we need to do is we need to, because this is being used at multiple places, so we need to move this to another common widget, right? So let's move these two things at a common place. Okay, and make sure that it's being used like in the event list page. Obviously it would be refactored, but here now we import it from here, from the widgets. And yes, it was issue of these things only. So if it is, let's make this like this, events not equal to null, and if events is empty, then we show no favorite event. And if this is not the case, so then we show the events. And here we can easily say events not and events not, because it's not required to have that. Okay, fine. What is the next error? Events length. Okay, great. Here also we can say that it will not be null here. So we can easily do that. And here it's not required because now it is compiled. Okay, so block is not generated yet. Let's try to generate the build runner, run the build runner, and it should be creating favorite block freezed file. If it doesn't, let us restart the application. Let's see if the shimmer is there or not, because ID doesn't reflect sometimes, so it can be the case. If I go to favorites, there is a shimmer at least. It's loading and it will say that there are no elements. But okay, it's not reflecting because see, we forgot to call onload, right? Now onload function is not there. So what we will do, and we didn't handle anything here. So what we can do here is we will handle this first of all, event.when, and this we will create this function, or we will use the existing function onload, and we'll pass emit here. And emit. So this is how the emitter works, and instead of emit we just have to write state.copy with. So before onload, when the onload starts, right, we need to emit a state where is loading will be true. That's it. Okay, this much you will have to do, and when it's loaded, we will say is loading is false, and then we will say events is events. So basically this is a problem with naming convention, but it should be events. It should be looking like this, and this onload function. Great, everything is done here. Onload is done. Okay, last thing is we didn't call onload function, right? So since we are using block, we can invoke this event, favorite event dot load, and this is equivalent to what we called in the favorite page. We called onload here, right? It is equivalent to that. So let's restart this and see if favorites shimmer is there, and then we have some answers. So I'm going to favorite, and after some time it says no favorite events. Now I go back here and I mark this as favorite, and then I come back, go to favorites, and still this is a problem that we discussed in the previous part. Now we have to first of all provide some way so that if a person bookmarks this here, then even though favorites page is loaded, it should be displaying the latest favorite list, right? So for that we need to interact with the favorite block from event detail block. So initial solution that I have previously told in my movie app was that you should be having instance of favorite block in event detail qubit or event detail block, and that should solve the purpose. But that's not right, and as per the official documentation it's not recommended as well. So the new solution, or the recommended solution, is that whenever there is a change in the state, you have to update another block's event, and that you can do by using listeners. So wherever we are listening for this qubit, so for example we are listening using block builder here. So instead of this we will be having a listener as well. We need to also know that it is being clicked, and something is going on. So if I add a listener here, right, so let's try to have a listener here. Okay, first of all let's have block consumer which can listen and build at the same time. We will have a listener, context dot is favorite. Okay, now how we will get the instance of favorite block? We can get it from the get it, or see, if we get it from the get it, we will get a new instance which we don't want. So we want to get it from block provider supplied at the top. So what we can do is, in the event detail page we have only one block provider. Instead of this we can use multi block provider. Okay, and in this there will be a field called providers. Okay, and this will be array. So we will not be creating now. Instead of that, let me just import this multi-block provider. Okay, multi-block provider, and inside this we will have block provider, similar like that. So we will just copy this. This statement is same as before. We will create another block provider. We'll supply another block provider here, and this time it would be favorite block. Okay, we have now provided this block from here. Fine, we got the instance, and we don't need this here. It would be simple like that. Now we have two favorite blocks here, correct? So what we can do is we will go to the same event section, and here we will say context. We will get the block instance from context now, and it will be favorite block. Okay, and we will say that whenever there is a change in the state, let's load this. Let's load favorite event dot load function. Okay, so this is how we will be able to interact with or instruct our favorite block to load when there is a change in event details favorite option. And I think this should be done. Let me restart the application. And now if let's try this, I mean, this would be a new solution. So when I go here, I bookmark it, I come to favorites list, and we will see the first item. Now we will go back here, we'll click this, we'll come back, and it's still there. Why? Because it's not reloaded. So why it's not reloaded? That's the question. Okay, in that case, we will have to make this favorite block as a lazy singleton, because there are two instances of this. It's clearly visible that there are two instances. One we create in the favorite page, like here we are creating here, and one we are creating in event detail page. So there are two instances. It should always have one instance, right? So because it's also visible on the home page, so we can bear with that memory allocation. So let's now check the application. I mark it as favorite and go to favorites. We'll have this one. I will unmark it and go back here, and we still have this one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to maybe regenerate, because we have to regenerate the dependencies. Of course, it's not too fast. Or let's check whether it's generated correctly or not. So this is my dependency. Where is favorite block? It's lazy singleton. It's generated, so that should not be a problem. Let me go to main, mark another as favorite, and come here and see if there are two elements. No, it's not there. Okay, so I will be starting a little bit of debugging here. So I have started a debugger, and what I will, because I want to solve this problem in front of you, so that whatever I learn, I can easily, you can also learn from that. So when I'm clicking on this favorite icon, we see that this event is being called in the listener, which is perfect. So it will call load, and when this load is called, there should be a onload function should be called, and the events list should be 1. Great. So we have this event list, and here as well we have this event list. Nice. So fine, we go to favorites, we see this one. Now we are going back here, pressing this again. This time is favorite is false. It will load. It came here, and then there is this error. Okay, great. Cannot add new events after calling close. Okay, fine. Understood. So I understood what is the problem. Now this is very good learning. I didn't see this error coming before. So the block was closed, and we tried to invoke it. Now who closed it? So basically, let's check which block was closed. So I can say favorite block was closed, because we saw in event section, after this we got the error, correct? And we were trying to add an event to this favorite block. So this block got closed, and where this block was provided, two places. Event detail page, right? Here it was provided correct? And second was favorite page. So when we supply block with create, it's responsibility of this page to actually close it automatically. It is not relying on us, and it will clean up the block for us automatically. So instead of this, what we can do is we can simply supply the value here. Instead of creating, we can supply the value, and when we do this, we should be having value here, and that's it. Similar thing we will have to do in the favorite page as well. So this means that now we are responsible for closing it, and we will never close it. Reason being, it's a home page, it's a main screen page. Once app will get closed, then only this block should be closed. So there is no point in closing it. It should be automatically closed, right? So going to Flutter favorite page, and then here as well, we can use this structure to get the favorite block instance. So first time it will get it from lazy singleton, and second time also it will get it from lazy singleton. So let's rerun this application, and again I will put the debugger so that we know that now this time we have passed that stage. Okay, I will go to here, mark it favorite. It works. Okay, fine. It is now coming again here. So it is marking it as favorite. Great. I'm going to favorite. I see one. And this time you see there is no loading before, right? Because favorite block was already initialized. Already the load function was invoked. So loading favorite list was pretty fast. When I unmark it, unfavorite it, I will click here, go back. And meanwhile, see, a favorite block's onload event is already invoked and my item is deleted. So this is what we call as reactive programming. This is what we call RX, and this is a beautiful example of RX basically, where some events happening on your application will reflect other elements of your application if they are listening to that change. Okay, and that is the power of RX. So without debugging, we will run this now. I will go in, mark it as favorite, go to favorites. It's already loaded. I will go to main, mark another one as favorite, and quickly I will go to here and I will see 2 here. I will go here, I will unfavorite it. I will see that since it's loading, of course, that there is little bit of delay. Obviously, it is firing that event, so waiting for that event. So it has loaded one, and yes, this is the refactoring that we wanted to do. We wanted to interact between 2 blocks, and that's it, I think. And I feel that now next time when you want to interact with blocks, multiple blocks, one block inside other block, you will think of this idea and you will try to use block consumer, block listener instead of block builder.